86 halftime activities will continue in a moment.
Dolphins. He has never, in his previous 16 years, lost 2 of the first 3 games. Should the Jets beat Miami today, it would mark a negative milestone for Shula. And you know that, well, you can see right now, he's pumped already. He was out with his team, and he had him out here early. Usually a sign that they don't want to hang around the coach's word.
I don't blame him. I'm sure in that locker room, he was very forceful. He is not a man who sits around and says, gee, maybe I should say something to these players. He's explosive, he's emotional, and I'm sure he let them know exactly how he feels. On the other hand, I don't think Bud Carson held back over in that Jets locker room either, although he has got a lot of problems to deal with injury-wise. He still can't be happy with his team giving up 21 points.
But don't you figure in the second half that Miami is going to score? I mean, the Jets have some problems defensively. You figure Miami is going to score. The key really to the half is, can Miami hold down the Jets?
Yes, and can the Jets offense continue to be productive? They really needed this day. They did not play well last week. They were not spectacular in their opener. And O'Brien in particular has had a pretty darn good first half. Those 2 long passes to Walker, beautiful strikes. And I'm sure that the Jets are impressed with and happy about the improvement there.
And the Jets are going to get the ball first here in the second half.
Let's take a quick peek at the statistics for that first half, which I'm sure are going to be a little interesting, explosive numbers. You look at 5 yards rushing for Miami, 238 through the air. The team's pretty close total yardage. Turnovers, 3 by the Dolphins, 1 by the Jets. And boy, those turnovers will kill you. And again, the time of possession favoring the Jets. I think that's an illustration of their ability to run the football. And you always try and keep Marino on the sideline. That's one way to defend against the Miami Dolphins offense, is to keep control of that football and keep him on the sideline.
We'll get an early clue as to any adjustments that Shula and his defensive coordinator Studley have made at halftime as the Jets get the ball with that 10-point lead to start the second half. Humphrey deep along with Michael Harper. And on the near side, Joko Townsend. As Fawad Reveiz will kick it off for Miami. They scored 68 points in their 2 games last year. They've scored 52 in the first half today. Humphrey will take it at the 20 on the touchback.
Humphrey does the kick in the end zone for the touchback. Jets will take over first and 10 on the 20.
First down plays. 9.2 yards each. Second and 0.8 of a yard isn't a bad situation for an offense.
They have hit some big plays, obviously, on those first down situations. Those are the kind of stats that a defensive coordinator brings in, lays on the table on a Monday morning and says, something I want to talk to you guys about. We have not seen great defense by any means in this first half.
Rocky Cleaver and Nicky Shore, 2 tight end start, with Cleaver used way out to the near side. Altoon split to the right. Johnny Hector. And he noses forward for a couple. John Offerdahl, 56 on the tackle. Both teams are aware that New England with a 10-point lead going into the second half, as the Patriots try to jump out to a 3-0 start, that would mean the loser of this game would fall 2 games back after just 3 weeks of the AFC East.
Perhaps it doesn't even need to be said, Dick, but it's so important to come out in the second half and establish yourself. That's certainly not a dramatic play for the Jets to begin with. Let's see if they can't get something going here. You've got to get a drive going here if you want to control the second half.
O'Brien going long for Toon. And that'll be interference. No, incidental contact. And the Jets bench is furious.
Some of the Jets players and coaches quickly on the field to argue it. And Walton is absolutely livid.
It appeared that Toon was just breaking into the clear when tripped from behind by Paul Langford.
Here it is, and watch Toon. The key here, if Langford's head is turned away from the receiver and the official determines that he is not aiming his feet, in other words, he doesn't know where that receiver is, they're not going to make that call. And that's the way it was called in that situation.
The replay seemed to support the official. 3rd and 8. O'Brien looking deep again. to just flip it out to Schuler, who remarkably handles it for a 5-yard gain out to the 27, short of a first down.
What kind of pass was that? It's like one that I threw. Shot put pass. Nicky Schuler took his time to get that controlled and almost got down there far enough to pick up the first down. But the first drive ends rather abruptly after that call that the officials seem to be very sure of. The Jets, of course, very angry on the far sideline, as you would expect in a situation like that.
Jennings, 2 punts, very productive. One that went 48, no return, and the other was the one in which Pruitt muffed it, and the Jets recovered at midfield and quickly scored on the Walker touchdown from O'Brien. He spirals it towards James Pruitt, and the rookie has it at the 35, and down he goes at the 38. Marion Barber got him. 36 yards on the kick, 3 yards on the return.
Renee Thompson down on the field. He's up now, limping off the Jets defense. Now we'll get a chance to see what Shula has cooked up offensively. As you see, Bud Carson, defenses and offenses both signaled in for both of these teams from the sideline. It's a dying art to call those on the field anymore.
Marino starts from his own 38. No surprise here. To the air. Almost in. Is not intercepted. The Jets had 2 or 3 shots at it. Meanwhile, back at the 19-yard line, Lyons and Marino discussing future stock options. With that tip drill, it looked as if the Jets had a sure interception.
Lyons, I think, still smarting. He was one of the players out on the field. This is back in action. You see Lyons out there to argue with the official. Barry Bennett, number 78, out there. And the official said, hey, you want a penalty, get back off the field. There's Radakovich coming out to grab a hold. And there is Walt meeting him on the sideline.
Marino lucky that ball isn't in the possession of the Jets.
That was volleyball.
Inside handoff to Tony Nathan. Across the 45 to the 46, where it'll be 3rd and 2. Wiles and Gastineau with the tackle, and Mark Gastineau. His name is really not erupted often in this game. What's he been up to?
Gastineau switching sides in this defense, occasionally going to the inside, but the Dolphins have done a good job of forcing him wide. He has not been a big factor in the pass rush. Bucko more effective, I think, in breaking the pocket from the inside, but he has had a hard day, too. They have been doubled, both of them, all day long.
Gastineau lined up at defensive right end. Klecko's to his left. Marino drilling it for a first down. Clayton at the 47 for the Jets, a 6-yard gain and a first down. Merrill and Humphrey with a tackle.
You asked the question about both Gastineau and Klecko. There they are on the right side. Foster, 61, and Stevenson inside. You see Cleveland Green, number 74, containing Gastineau on the outside. And as you were able to see on that replay, Dan Marino with plenty of time to get that ball off.
First down at the Jets' 48-yard line. It's 31-21, New York. 11:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Able to run effectively. Marty Lyons stopping Woody Bennett after a yard, maybe 2 yards. Lyons, first-round pick of the Jets back in 1979.
You see that cocked position for Joe Klecko, and he's so quick in sliding through inside. Even if he doesn't make the play, he disrupts a lot of things inside. Lyons, as you mentioned, over quickly. And the mark of good defense is great pursuit. How many people can you get on that ball carrier? On that particular play, there was some good defense play, Dick.
And dig in again on 2nd and 8, and outside Klecko. Marino will go through. This is a free play, and he's got Duper wide open for a touchdown. We'll check the officials, and
I think it's offsides on the Jets.
Number 73, declined, touchdown.
46 yards on the touchdown, and it's now 31-27.
I'll tell you, it's a mistake that you see so often at every level of football. You don't expect it at the professional level. The flag does not stop the play. You got to continue to go. You see Klecko offsides there. Jerry Holmes one-on-one on Duper. And here, Marino has all day to get that ball deep. Duper just broke off the pattern. Looked like he was running a post. Decided to break it deep. And Marino, with that great downfield vision, able to see the play and get the ball off.
Gervais tacks on the extra point. And as expected, Marino and the Dolphins through the air get a quick 7 again as Mark Duper has his second touchdown reception. That's the 4th TD pass by Marino.
It's got to be frustrating for Klecko.
The game back to a 3-point contest.
Game is brought to you by Mercury, the shape you want to be in. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by Owens Corning Building Products. We put your house in the pink.
New York Jets lead is cut to 3 as Joe Klecko and defensive group talking things over. A little lurch offside. Everyone relaxes, and Mark Duper had an easy 46-yard touchdown. Gervais, this one's a little shorter than his pass kicks, and it's Humphrey at the 4. That'll be Humphrey. Nice running by Humphrey to the 28-yard line. Mark Cooper celebrating his second touchdown. Let's see who's scoring elsewhere. Let's go to NFL 86.
Dick, the Seahawks are back in it at Foxborough, trailing 17-7. Dave Craig goes up top for the former Colt, Ray Butler. He beats Vency Glenn, the defensive back on the play for the Patriots, and the Seahawks are within 3 at 17-14. Dick?
Well, a 3-point game at Foxborough, and so it is here at Giant Stadium. 31-28, New York leads it as O'Brien gives to Hector. To the 33-yard line, a gain of 4.
Let's go back in time just to that last touchdown play and watch Mark Duper. A little bend to the inside right there, and then the quick acceleration upfield. Jerry Holmes just no way to recover on that play. As Duper takes it, drops into the end zone. Speed. Boy, it kills. There's no question about it.
Look at the numbers on Duper. Set a Miami record with 217 yards against the Jets last year. In Miami, he needs only 80 more in the second half to tie that. Walker in motion. Fullback Tony Page gets a rare call, and he's to the 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.5. Atlanta, a couple of quick scores to take a lead at Dallas in the 3rd period. Philadelphia's finally scored on a Cunningham pass to Jackson of 29 yards. And Tampa Bay apparently going to win its first game of the year at Detroit.
Detroit had played so well at home last year, having their troubles there this year.
3rd down and short, and O'Brien going on top to Toon, and a flag this time against Langford. They became entangled again.
Now, wait a minute. Let's see what, yeah, they're calling it down. Too much of a good thing for Langford.
Toon had him hung out to dry.
Defensive pass interference, number 44, first down.
At the 36-yard line, first down, Jets.
What a great target Al Toon is. Just huge and long arms, about a 39-inch reach.
43-inch vertical jump.
And a 43-inch jump. I'll tell you, you can hang it out there and say, okay, Al, go get it.
Well, we saw him in his first start when Song was injured last year against Miami. He caught 10. Cleaver in motion. O'Brien, lots of time. Underneath to Cleaver.
Ooh. Sometimes it's a good idea just to get to the ground. Cleaver, who always fights for that extra yard, in that particular situation ends up spinning backwards and backwards. Coming in motion on that play, and he just went up inside and hooked into an open area. O'Brien obviously looking downfield. Cleaver was about a third choice on that play. Finally got the ball into him.
Looked like a man trying to go the wrong way through one of those revolving doors.
He did. But he certainly, O'Brien again with a lot of time to pass. Both quarterbacks have not been hurried that much today.
2nd and 5. Takes the Blyton. O'Brien in trouble. Eats a fumble. And Miami has recovered. Number 99, George Little, comes up with the ball. No one had seen the fumble except for Little and the official, Pat Haggerty.
Just at a moment when you say they haven't hurried O'Brien, they get to him quickly.
T.J. Turner and Mark Brown. Brown subbing for the injured star Hugh Green.
Pat Haggerty right on top of the play. And he could see that that ball is being knocked loose. Look at him. He's not calling, not blowing the whistle. He's just watching there. And who is that? That's Reggie McElroy, who is just standing there thinking the play is over. That ball loose in there. I'm sure he just thought it was a sack, and it was all finished.
So a break for the Dolphins, and they take over the Jets' 47-yard line. This team has capitalized on the other's mistakes, and now it's Marino trying to put Miami in front with 8:22 left in the third quarter. He's going deep. Could be intercepted. No, he outthrew everyone, including number 28, Carl Howard.
Right on the sideline. A rather sloppy game in some critical areas today. Not only some big plays, but some very sloppy plays to turn the advantage back the other way.
But again, your point, Merlin, about O'Brien, which is really only in his second full year playing in the NFL, hanging onto the ball. That sack count belongs to him as well, and in this case, hanging on to it so long, not only sacked, but losing the ball.
Well, that's one of the things we talked to O'Brien about, or to Joe Walton about yesterday, is that you do take a risk when that quarterback is sacked because sometimes the ball is knocked loose.
2nd and 10. 4 wide receivers for Marino out of the shotgun. Instead, hands off to Nathan. Good block. 40. 30. And Tony Nathan. What a reliable veteran he is. To the 27 before Lester Lyles can capture him after a 20-yard gain.
Very effective running play out of the shotgun. Move forward, handoff right there. Marino just stepped up, handed it to Nathan. And Nathan, who goes through that line very quickly, they're all expecting pass on that play. Got everybody stretched out, and he took advantage of it.
He just took advantage of Gastineau's pass rush. He was charging hard, just bumped into the outside and ran inside him for 20.
They flip-flopped Gastineau to the open side, away from the tight end. I want to try and put a little extra squeeze on that quarterback.
He's on this side. There's Gastineau. Over the middle. Oh, Mark Clayton won't drop many of those. Carl Howard was the closest Jet, but that had 6 written on it for Clayton. Marino says that's all right.
All right. I'm sure he does, too. People ask why Marino's numbers were down last year after such a spectacular season in '84.
Why were they down?
Well, one very good reason. Clayton was hurt part of the year. Duper hurt most of the year. You take those two guys away from any quarterback, and he's going to have trouble.
Year before, 61%, or 64%, 48 touchdowns, 5,000 yards.
I don't think we're ever going to see those numbers again. I really don't.
Unless it happens today. 2nd and 10. That one intended for Nat Moore. And there's a case where Marino had to hurry the pass, so Moore didn't have a chance to turn and look.
Well, and that's the kind of situation where the styles of these two quarterbacks are so dramatically different. Marino will not allow you to sack him if he has any chance to get that ball away and just throw it away. O'Brien, on the other hand, has been trained to eat that football, and that's the way he does it.
And in that case, had Marino had another half second, obviously Moore was open, but he had to unload.
I'll tell you one thing. Neither of these quarterbacks lack courage, Beck. They'll stand in there and take as much time as they can get to throw the football.
Trying to take advantage of O'Brien's fumble. Big play, 3rd and 10 at the 27. On top for Duper. Incomplete against Davlin Mullen. So the Jets defense able to stop Marino's passing game, and here comes Fuad Reveiz. to try a field goal. He is 1 for 2 on this young season.
Mullen chewed up rather badly last week in that New England game. He's had 10 days to think about it, and I'm sure pleased that that ball did not end up in the hands of Mark Duper.
It'll be a 45-yard attempt out of Don Stropp's hold, and this would tie it up. Midpoint of the third quarter. We have a new game. It's even at 31 with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third quarter. 45-yard field goal by Revez, and we start anew at Giant Stadium. Oh, but you would have tripped over your 5-minute capacity. You were too intelligent to do that. Come on. O'Brien to the sidelines to Walker, and of course that play should work the way that Walker has gone deep. They have to give him some room, and that's an 8-yard gain. Buffalo, Greg Bell has scored to give the Bills a 2-touchdown lead. Atlanta scored on a fumble recovery touchdown and an interception touchdown to take the lead at Dallas. Denver apparently will make it 3-0. New England now ahead again by 10. Rams 21-7. It's been that way for a long time. Minnesota and Tampa Bay healthy leads. It's a high-scoring day. This third week of the
Like the first week. First week was very high scoring. Second week the defenses were there again.
And 2nd and 2. Little inside handoff to Dennis Blychen. And Miami says they have it. They do. Jeff Offerdahl in the midst of the celebration. As Blychen, just an innocent little play up the middle to pick up the first down. And the last 2 possessions have led to Miami fumble recoveries. Mark Brown.
Last one up, he and Jackie Shipp. George Little. Walton doesn't know what to think here. A real stack-up. Baumhauer 73, Shipp number 50. Let's see if we can see what happens. That ball was already loose as they got to that point. And the scrambling Dolphins. There's the ball popping loose. Rolled in underneath. Looked like Mark Brown may have gotten down there in time to scoop it up.
No turnovers now, even 3 aside. The game even at 31. Miami from the Jets 30-yard line. Ooh, Woody Bennett pulled out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
Woody had a little trouble finding the handle on that one. Finally able to corral it. By that time, almost out of bounds. Boy, mistakes can turn it around so quickly. The turnovers in a game, the fumbles, the sacks. There you see the turnovers. The first half, a big edge for the Jets as the Dolphins were turning it loose. But here, it's been 2 costly errors. The Dolphins quick to capitalize on the first and about to capitalize unless something goes wrong on the second.
Marino now with 305 yards passing. 2nd and 2. And Nathan, nothing there.
Joe Klecko.
Oh, yes, he was there.
Klecko, we have not heard as much from Klecko as you did in the first 2 weeks of this season. But again, it's good to remind you that Klecko is playing against a man that many consider to be the finest center in the league. And in that kind of battle, there are going to be more standoffs than out-and-out victories.
Dwight Stevenson, he says the thing, Klecko and all the rest, Howie Long, they say about Stevenson, everyone else double teams us, but Stevenson takes us on one-on.
Well, he's had help today. He's had a lot of help on Klecko today.
From the shotgun on 3rd and 4. Wide open Duper. And he's to the 2-yard line against Jerry Holmes. Duper very close to his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Marino loves that man-to-man coverage. Blitz coming, as you saw Lester Lyle coming. That means that they're in man-to-man coverage on those wide receivers. Duper just broke it inside with a slant. Jerry Holmes, although he was there, couldn't do anything but drag him down.
7 catches, 154 yards for Duper. He leaves the game if they go with the 2 tight ends and the 3 backs. Up the middle, short of the goal line. Ron Davenport stopped by Charles Jackson and company. Those of you who have been watching in the Washington, D.C. and Dallas areas. We have a real scramble here at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. It's tied at 31. The Dolphins and Jets with 4:58 left in the third quarter. You see Lance Mell, valuable property linebacker of the Jets, injured on the last play. For those of you just joining us, Hugh Green, the All-Pro linebacker of the Miami Dolphins, left the game on a stretcher in the first half with a knee injury, and they will x-ray that again when the Dolphins arrive home in Miami. It did not appear that, well, he won't play in this game, and he may not play for some time.
Mel, who's been playing hurt with ankle problems, on the ground and obviously in pain. Right-hand side of your screen, look for number 56. You see him right there, and it looks like maybe somebody stepped down on that leg. You see him grabbing his right knee or ankle.
And we have a timeout with 4:58 left in the third period. In the blue shirt, Dr. James Nicholas. We'll talk more about him later. They're going to honor him next week here in New York at 2nd and goal at the 1 as Miami just 3 feet away from the lead. Nathan says he's in. No signal yet. They're going to mark it just shy of the goal line.
Good job by the Jets defense. An extra defensive lineman in on the play as they were able to stymie the drive. Watch the initial surge, and you can see that the Jets are able to stop the penetration of the line and able to stack enough bodies in there to keep Nathan away from that goal line.
It was Davenport, Merlin. Nathan out front blocking. He looked as if he had the ball. There was Davenport. Stop. 3rd and goal. Shula and the Dolphins pass for a touchdown from the 1-yard line in the first half. And they're going to throw again. Touchdown. The 5th touchdown pass of the game. This one goes to Bruce Hardy. Duper with 2. Hardy has 1. Johnson has 1. And James Pruitt, the rookie, has 1. So Marino has tied his own high with the Dolphins with 5 touchdown passes. 2 fumbles recovered by the Dolphins here in the third quarter have led to touchdowns, and plus a field goal. And with 4:12 left in the period, it's 37-31 Miami. Wad Reveiz adds the extra point. The Jets scored 28 points, a New York record in the second period, and now 17 unanswered by Miami in the third. Dan Marino's 5th touchdown pass of the game. He is now 2 away from the NFL record. Sid Luckman, Adrian Burke, George Blanda, Y.A. Tittle, and Joe Kapp all threw for 7 touchdowns in a single NFL game. Recently, as you saw, the Miami record holder with 6. Plenty of time. 4:12 left in the third period. Reveiz hits it deep to Harper, and he'll not take it out.
Let's go quickly back and look at that replay. You saw Lance Mell go out of the game. And right here is Troy Benson, the linebacker that went into his place. Now watch him as he is faked into the line. The other man to watch is right over here, Bruce Hardy, who's simply going to go down and clear out. Let's turn it loose. Now watch Benson, who believes it's a run. He comes right up inside, and the ball goes over his head. Nobody there. What a nice play. And again, taking advantage of what happens on the field. The injury puts a new man in there who's not used to reacting. Marino and the Dolphins beat him instantly.
O'Brien goes to work. To the sidelines to Cleaver, and he's been a busy target throughout the course of this game. And Cleaver has a first down out at the 35. 15 more yards. Buffalo with a 2-touchdown lead. It's Dallas back to lead by 1 in a crazy one at Irving. Denver apparently will go 3-0. New England's lead cut to 3 by Seattle. Rams and Indianapolis stuck on 21-7 for 3 quarters. Minnesota and Tampa Bay on their way to a win.
Nobody's stuck on any number here.
Just don't blink an eye. Johnny Hector. And a little running back from Texas A&M, and a flag goes down, picks up 5. And we'll check the penalty call.
I think we've got a holding call. Good play by Mark Brown, who's been in there for the injured Hugh Green. Nope. Face mask. You'll see a good pursuit angle taken by Mark Brown here, who'll come all the way from behind to get a shot right there. Yeah, I think maybe...
Face mask.
We couldn't see the face mask.
Down stays the same. First down.
Well, there was obviously not a face mask on the... I don't know, Dick, where that one took place.
I didn't see it.
And it's going to be second down and 1 or 2.
Wide open Al Toon. He has a first down at the Miami 47. William Judson did the play defensively, 14 yards for Al. Play a sweet tune. He's such a graceful looking athlete at 6'4" and 205 from Wisconsin. Studied ballet, wants to be a model. He says, I want to be in GQ or one of those magazines. On first down. On top to Toon. Incomplete. Oh, talk about being shadowed by William Judson. Breathing down his neck the whole way. Toon had him turned around, but couldn't come up with the ball.
Toon is man-to-man coverage here by Judson, who is running well with him. Toon loses the ball, and when you have to twist all the way around like that, I think that's about as tough a catch as you can find because you've got to relocate the ball.
That's a play that Duper and Marino worked so well with. Duper always looks for the ball to the sidelines. Toon thought it was there, but it was not. O'Brien with a couple of touchdown passes and 241 yards. He's had a good day. He also fumbled once and 1 interception. Draw play. Hector hit by Offerdahl. At the 44-yard line, Betters was there as well.
George Little. I saw Offerdahl going for that football. Hector clamping down on it. They've made more than their share of mistakes today. They certainly don't want to make another one. Miami quickly capitalizing on those 2 turnovers to move ahead in this ball game. The Jets looking for 7 to tie it up again.
Walker to the right. He has 2 touchdown catches, 65 and 50 yards. O'Brien. It's a great catch by Cleaver. Or Townsell it is. JoJo Townsell. A wobbly pass. Toughest of all, having to reach below your knees to catch it in traffic. And Townsell's first grab is a big first down reception.
It's a maturing process. O'Brien waits until the last second, gets that ball out. It just floats in there. And Townsell with his hands on the ground, actually, before that ball arrived. Very athletic grab. Coaches told me before the game that they expected Townsell to be doing well in there today. They've been impressed with the way he's practiced.
15 yards for Joseph.
They're
Townsell.
taking a look at it. I think they buzzed that one to see if that was indeed a catch. A question about whether or not it was a catch, and I think they have looked at it, or at least examined it with the replay. And now remember, they can't or won't reverse it unless there is very good irrefutable proof.
After further observation and review by the instant replay, officials, the ball is ruled as incomplete.
Incomplete. Well, let's go back and show you the grab. Well, this is the same angle, not a great one, that they looked at. I don't know if that's irrefutable evidence, and that's part of the system that is bothering me, that there's a play in the Rams and 49ers last week, and then a call was made that somehow to me, in my eye, didn't seem to be evidence that was totaled. From that angle, and from what you have seen, they have ruled that an incomplete pass.
Well, like it or not, it is called that way. They will move the sticks back, and it's going to be...
instead of first down, it's fourth down. That's a big reversal.
That is a big turnaround. Townsell, but Townsell argued, I didn't get a chance to see. He was late. He's on the sideline. There's no question the ball was very close to the ground, but not an easy one for me to call from this angle.
Dave Jennings in a parent punt situation now, and floating back is James Pruitt. Matt Moore will take Pruitt's spot. The veteran Moore down deep toward that Miami goal line. Don Shula wants to use the sure-handed veteran. Boy, that was a big call. Set a first down and a continuing drive. It's ball back.
Right in on top of the punter. He's blocked a kick in each of the last 2 years against the Jets. They're concerned about him. He was in there hassling Jennings as he kicked that one away.
See the combination passing, running. It's been Dolphins through the air. The Jets have been able to run more effectively, but not an alarming total there for Don Shula's defense. Most of those yards by Johnny Hector, subbing for the injured Freeman McNeil. McNeil will be out for probably at least 4 or 5 more weeks. Lance Mel has returned to the Jets lineup, the linebacker.
When you have ankle problems, and Mel is going to suffer with them, I'm afraid, throughout the year. He certainly has not been able to get them healthy in the early part of the season here. Very often you get them twisted, and the pain is frightening. You don't know how badly they're hurt. Get off the sideline and say, all right, put me back in there. And he's back.
Marino to the air again. Deep down the middle for Johnson. Incomplete. And Johnson was open at the 40, covered by Lester Lyles. But in traffic could not come down with it.
Dan Marino is not afraid to throw that football to receivers that are covered. He's done it repeatedly throughout his career. He did it on that particular play.
Well, don't you, Merlin, see often that Marino, with that quick release and those timing moves, that so often the defensive players have their back to him anyway, don't know when he has thrown.
No question about that. As you look at some of Marino's career stats, his only loss coming in last year's game, a game in which the Jets really dominated them on the line of scrimmage, defensively and offensively.
That's the night they retired Joe Namath's number. Remember 23-7 they beat them.
Very emotional game.
Marino signaling to his double wide receiver Sept.
He's called an audible.
He got it away with 1 second left on the 30-second clock. Duper, and a flag is down. Now this is going to be an interesting call. They both were pushing. Duper pushed first and then was pushed back by the Jet. And we'll see how they rule it.
Offensive what? Offensive. 85. Offensive pass interference.
There you go.
Offensive pass interference, number 85.
So it goes against Duper.
So the Dolphins have benefited from a call just before this that took a first down away from the Jets. On this particular occasion, it's offensive interference on Duper. Let's watch Duper now. Jerry Holmes, man-to-man, number 47. He gets a late shove there. Now let's watch Duper. Pushing his head back right there. You saw him, and then a second push back.
And Holmes was pushed.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of contact on that play.
And it looked as if Holmes had contact beyond the 5 yards as well. So that was a real mess, but it goes against Shula and the Dolphins. And he is burning the back ear of the side judge who was immediately in front of him. Ball at the 5-yard line. Second down, a long 15. Interestingly, Marino under center in this situation. From his end zone, he throws it away. There was no one there. And Gastineau was on top of Marino.
And again, Marino's pointing to Gastineau and say, hey, who's supposed to block this guy? Gastineau in very quickly. You'll see him coming from your left-hand side here. Nobody to pick him up. Lance Mel out there soloed out. He's the one that was singled up. Nobody there. Mel got there first, and Gastineau from the right-hand side, so there were 2 bodies on him. But nobody picked up the blitzing linebacker, and Marino had to throw it away.
1 minute, 29 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Some of the Jets fans on their feet down at this end as Marino stares at third and long. it he comes to Mark Clayton at the 34-yard line. And Marino has a big first down throw. 28 yards.
Marty Lyons ended up on top of Marino on that play, but no flags.
New England back in front by 10. Seattle creeps to 3, and then the Patriots get another touchdown. Here it's 38-31 Miami with 17 points here in the third quarter to overcome a 31-21 lead enjoyed by the Jets at the intermission. Clayton now wearing eye protectors. He has 108 yards and 5 catches. Duper 7 catches over 150 yards.
Marino still proving that he can take that scalpel to defenses, and especially those that are already carved up with injury.
Even there where they knew he was going to pass. Nathan. And a flag down as Nathan struggles across the 35-yard line.
Ronnie Lee, number 72, I think getting a late shove using his hands on Klecko.
Holding 61. Hooked him and grabbed him.
Roy
Take him back.
Foster.
Take him back.
Hooked him and grabbed him.
He's asking the defensive
Take him back.
captain, do you want me to take the penalty? Take him back?
Hey, what do you want to do?
Well, we get a little insight into
Holding number 61.
the responsibilities and the emotion of the officials.
I don't think Pat knows that his mic is open.
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe just as well we turn it off for him. Roy Foster guilty of the hold. Final seconds of the third period. Duper and Pruitt to the right. Attack Clayton and Pruitt to the right. Duper and Moore to the left.
4 wides and a single back.
And Nathan. That play worked in the first half. Ooh, the umpire almost got it as Nathan goes out to the 34-yard line. Then Rudolph and Lance Mel with a tackle close to 10 yards in the game.
Philosophy there being you can spread those defensive backs far enough to give that runner time to come up the middle.
End of the third quarter. It's Miami 38, the Jets 31. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. At Giants Stadium, Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. A scoring fest on this late September afternoon. It's 38-31 Miami. Winner goes to 2-1. The loser drops to 1-2.
And drops 2 games behind an apparently undefeated New England Patriot team.
Patriots lead in the fourth quarter by 10 against Seattle at home. Big play. Second down and 10. Miami at the 34. As we open the fourth period after the Dolphins scored 17 unanswered points in the third to take the lead. Over the middle, and it's another completion to Clayton at the 45-yard line of the Jets. 21 more yards. Humphrey made the tackle. Boy, the combination of the two marks, Clayton and Duper. Duper with 7 catches and 154 yards. Clayton now 6 catches and 128.
128 or 129, and again Marino not afraid to throw it right in there into the coverage. Dares those defenders to get it. And I think it's just confidence in his receivers, Dick.
And again, Humphrey now really able to get a good look at the ball. He's so busy trying to entangle himself with the receiver. Marino with 5 touchdowns in the game. Is this one a catch? At the 35-yard line? No. They say it is not. A late call. Duper did not get that one.
But typical of the kind of plays that Marino has been running all day long, the timing pattern to the outside. Watch Duper. He's going to drive his man off with his speed, and then when he gets the defensive man to turn, right in there, he spins back to the sideline. The ball has already been thrown. Is it a catch? Well, I don't think you're going to see from this angle.
That isn't even futable.
No.
That's irrefutable.
The officials said no, and it goes to 2nd and 10.
Ball at the 45 of the Jets. 38-31 Miami. First minute of the fourth period. Marino deep. Oh, no flag. Oh, my. Duper and Holmes appear to be a Duper little man.
I'll tell you. We might as well get boxing gloves for those two guys down there. Little shoulder move there. Little throwback by Duper. Ball out of range, and that may not have been called because it was not a catchable ball.
10 minutes, boy, how quickly it goes by. What a nice service that is, that any 10 minutes you know exactly what the scores are at all the other NFL games. Down to a 7-point lead for New England in the fourth. And Detroit with a late rally, down by only 4 against the Buccaneers. Third and 10.
Big play.
Deep to Clayton, too deep. Well, Marino said, oh, if I had just waited a split second longer, I had Clayton breaking free. So Reggie Roby, a rare experience, at least in the second half. Roby in to punt for the first time in this half. Kurt Sohn, who had an excellent punt return that led to the first score of the game, a field goal. He had a 27-yard punt return, is deep for the Jets. Sohn lets it go. And it goes into the end zone, just barely ahead of Dan Johnson. Jets will start at the 20-yard line when we return to Giant Stadium, where the score reads Miami 38, Jets 31.
Is supposed to be. The replay official should only overrule if his view is conclusive that a mistake has been made. And we're not saying they got it wrong, but is this conclusive that JoJo Townsend trapped it? Looks like it could go either way, and in that case, they're supposed to let the call stand. Food for thought, Dick and Merlin.
That's going to be a meal for the 1986 season. That's just food for thought. It continues to be controversial at best, the instant replay. Meanwhile, the Jets, trailing by a touchdown, have it at their own 20. Hector punching out to the 26-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 4. Well, the other angle that we had on the Townsend catch was from the end zone, and here is that. Is this inconclusive or conclusive evidence?
Significance, obviously, of that play was that was a first down just outside of the 30-yard line. The Jets ended up having to punt as a result of that reversal of the call.
2nd down and 4. Hector the call again, trying to get outside. Oh, he's done some nice running. First down at the 31. Meanwhile, Mark Duper, the sensational wide receiver of the Dolphins, applying ice on his forehead or his right eye.
Reminiscent of the head injury to Harry Hamilton here last week. A blow, and no one seems to really know what happened to him. He ended up stacked up on the ground, split his head wide open. You see them looking earlier at Mark Duper's right eye and then applying ice. But Hamilton ended up with a 6-inch cut, 27 stitches. He can't put the helmet on yet, and will be out, certainly out this game and maybe even next week.
The defensive back of the Jets, O'Brien, play action and going deep, has a man soon. 45, 40. Oh, hit from behind by Brzezinski and down to the 33. Another big play in this game. They're trying for Toon.
Toon had twisted William Judson all the way around on that play. Again, the play action, and that works when you've got the running game going. You see it right here. Judson had his back to the ball as Toon cut inside. One thing that scares you, look how he's carrying that football. I'm sure that Bob Brzezinski had his eye on that football. Watch it here. He's lucky he saw Brzezinski and was able to pull that in, or that ball may have been bouncing out of there.
That's just like walking out on the street in front of a truck. Glides him. He fumbled in the third quarter and fumbles again, but it goes out of bounds. Jets possession. We hear now that the injury to Duper, a finger in the eye. And we do not know whether he will return.
This field position, almost equal to what the Jets would have had at the other end of the field. See if they're able to get things together. They're only 7 down, 11:42 in the fourth quarter, in a game that has seen enough points to make all of us wonder about defensive football.
4 points scored in this game than the 2 games they played combined last year. Hector, nothing there. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. Jackie Schiff, number 50, led the charge. Schiff from Oklahoma. Oh, what a team the Sooners seem to have this year. Again.
Not much on that play. Defense finally rising to the occasion here. 3rd down.
79 yards for Johnny Hector, subbing for the injured Freeman McNeil. He's done a solid job.
It's about what he's averaged in the 6 games, close to 100 yards per game. So he has been a very effective replacement for Freeman McNeil.
Dolphins playing pass. They rush 4 men. O'Brien doesn't disappoint. Kurt Sohn, 1st down, 18.
Paul Langford, number 44, trying to cover Sohn. That ball thrown a little bit high, but Sohn is a battler, and he went up and pulled it down.
Well, if they had a campaign for overachievers, Sohn might be the poster boy.
Boy, I'll tell you, watch him go up in the air here. Full extension, knows he's going to take the hit on the way down. Langford going for that football, but it's a 1st and 10.
Inside the 18, call it the 17. Plenty of time left. Miami by a touchdown, 38-31. Toon in motion. O'Brien throws it away. Toon was well covered. Langford and Bud Brown had him. Ken O'Brien. He was the 24th pick in the 1st round in 1983. That was that sensational quarterback year. Boy, what talent. First there was Elway, then Tony Eason, then Todd Blackledge, then O'Brien, then Jim Kelly. Now with Buffalo, and finally Dan Marino.
Well, they've had reunions along the way with Kelly 2 weeks ago, with Eason last week, and this week with Marino. They have yet to meet Elway. They'll see him down the road, and then repeats of the 3 aforementioned quarterbacks. So they're going to have a lot of reunions of that class this year.
Throws to Tony Page. Fullback gets to the 10-yard line. Now they're knocking at the 11. 6-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 4 when we return. First, this update.
Dick, you and Merlin have the game of the day there at the Meadowlands, but this might be second best at Foxborough. Another blocked punt by the Seahawks. Patrick Hunter blocks the Rich Camarillo kick. Paul Moyer covers it in the end zone, and the game is tied with 1:54 left, 31 apiece.
31 all there. The Jets are 11 yards away from making this one 38 all. And boy, how Chuck Knox's special
teams and defense, and they've done it up there today. We've seen a lot of big plays on special teams here today as well.
Both quarterbacks over 300 yards passing. O'Brien on 3rd and 4. And he'll throw out of the backfield. Hector. Does he have enough for a 1st down? No,
he's short.
He's to the 8-yard line. That will be very close, but not enough. And O'Brien is slow getting up. He was hit just as he delivered the ball.
3rd and less than a yard to go.
4th and less
than a yard to go. And there goes Griggs. That's the 3rd tight end into the game. Tony Page, the big short yardage back. He usually gets the call in this kind of situation.
Shula, meanwhile, takes out 4 of the pass defensive types and puts in more beef.
You saw Bobby Hammond, the coach, with his hands raised in the air. He's signaling in the formation so they know who's supposed to come out.
This could be the game. Page was hit at the line of scrimmage and was able to fight forward about a half yard. Was it enough?
I believe he's got it, Dick. That second effort has its payoffs, and you saw Page, who was so physically strong, he was able to take that first shot, keep his legs moving, and drive that pile ahead.
Number 90, Merlin, Andy Hendel from North Carolina State, 2 years in the USFL, made that hit. But Page, with a power 225 pounds, able to fall forward. And now the official measurement.
They're going to trot it in from the sideline. There's the signal by Bobby Hammond. And what he's saying is this is the formation call. If you're supposed to be in there, stay there. If not, get the heck out of there.
Well, the crowd quiets as they wait for them to stretch out the chains. Well, credit Woody Page with that. He just made it, and it took that little lurch forward for the Jets to get it first and goal at the 7. Tony Page, what a job. First final, Tampa Bay, its first win of the year, 24-20. We have 9 minutes left here at Giant Stadium. Jets trying to tie it. Blyton with blockers behind Sweeney. He has a touchdown. Dennis Blyton's first touchdown of the year. Did he have an escort? Number 53, Jim Sweeney.
And they're running at a position usually occupied by Hugh Green. Green, of course, out of the ball game since an injury in the second quarter. We'll get a look at that right after this kick.
Pat Leahy ties it up. 80 yards in 11 plays.
Watch the block by Cleaver coming in on the top. 89 right there. Sweeney, 53, pulls out and blocks on Judson. And Blyton just pulls away into the end zone.
Blyton, who went to a lower Manhattan high school that didn't have a football team. And urgent on the field that has now been denied. These two teams are not disguised as the San Diego Chargers. These are the real folks, Miami and the Jets, 38 all. Kind of game you expect when you see the Chargers play. Pat Leahy to kick it off. 8:42 left. Might be whoever has the ball last. Hampton. There's that Joe Carter, and he takes a lick from Griggs and then is pushed back inside the 15. Billy Griggs had got there first. A reminder, our viewers will have the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game at the conclusion. We could have a tough ballot.
A lot of explosive plays. There are also some candidates for worst player of the day. I'm glad we don't have to choose that one, Dick. Hugh Green on the sideline. You see that leg bandaged and a big ice pack on that right kneecap.
Boy, that's like seeing your expensive car with a big dent in it. That's a valuable property. Hugh Green. Marino. Flag down. Clifton gets Hampton.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. The more you look, the more you like Mazda value. By Panasonic. Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time. And by Budweiser. Beechwood aged with that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Game now well over 3 hours old, and we have 8:25 left. The call is against the Jets. Miami will take the play, and Marino chalks up another 10 yards plus on his passing count. Marino is approaching the 400-yard mark. Del Costanza, our statistician, working on those numbers, and he's using both hands. He's writing with the right and the left today. First down at the 29.
You need a computer.
He's 17 yards shy of 400. He may get it on this play. Close. Flag down as Holmes makes the tackle on Clayton at the 41. Matt Haggerty's been busy.
Offensive pass interference, number 87.
It is against Dan Johnson, the tight end.
I think what we're seeing there is a pick being called against the Dolphins, clearing the way for Clayton. Third down conversions on the day. The Dolphins are 6 of 11. The Jets 5 of 13. So both teams below 50%. maybe we can see that play. Well, just the end of it, but you can see Dan Johnson standing just at the top of the play, and there were two defenders there. He'd obviously bumped into them. He's not allowed to do that while the ball was in the air.
Now Marino first down in the hole. Here, folks, the midpoint of this fourth quarter. Screen to Hampton. Oh, what a hit. Credit Matt Munger, the second-year linebacker from Oklahoma State. He's another of those overachievers. Went to college as a walk-on running back, made a linebacker, played on the scout team as a running back 2 years at Oklahoma State. He had a college quarterback named Rusty Hilger out there with the Raiders. Marino with 385 yards passing, O'Brien with 306. 5 TDs to 2, Marino over O'Brien.
Of course, the Jets have counted on their ground attack for a lot of their success today. Marino almost entirely up on top.
Second team, Marino lucky to find the handle. Flag down. And official, number 82. What a catch.
92.
Jim Poole. He was on his way. Don't stop now, Jim.
I think there was a whistle blown before that play. Yeah. He heard the whistle and just wanted to stop it, but this play will go into the, I guarantee you, this goes into the blooper file.
8 seconds back on the clock. 8 seconds.
Well, Jim, the only thing, though, he didn't shift the ball to the right arm so they could protect it against the on-rushing.
What happens if he scores? Here it is. Stepping up, he's waving his arms. The play is over.
Listen to the crowd. They have just seen the replay that you have watched. Come on, Jim, crack a smile.
Well, that's not a smiling violation for Marino and the Dolphins as that marches them back another 5. Second, about 22, 23 yards to go.
In a Mardi Gras atmosphere here at Giant Stadium, 38-38. It has been a football celebration of sorts.
And they're putting a sign up that says defense, defense, defense. Where are they going to find one?
I'm not sure they could even spell it. There it is, up on the giant scoreboard at each end of this magnificent stadium, modeled after the same structure as Arrowhead in Kansas City.
No question it's a great stadium, Dick, but if you look at all this plastic and artificial turf, I'm not sure it's a football stadium.
Crowd of 76,000, at least that many tickets sold, over 76,000, and most of them highly entertained. Meanwhile, we want to keep an eye on that game up at Foxborough, tied at the last report. With Dallas and Atlanta, 1-point game there. Seattle has gone in front of New England 38-31 on a 67-yard pass from Craig to Butler. So Seattle down by 10, suddenly leading by 7 with 1:13 left.
You scooped the 10-minute ticker.
I do not know why they are not playing. 2nd and 23, no timeout was called. Oh, the net at the end of the stadium beyond the upright fell down, but why that's significant enough to stop now, I don't know.
Nobody's kicking the ball at this moment.
So they lose a ball. Don Shula is saying, let's go ahead with it.
Maybe Pat Haggerty will tell us what's going on.
Want to wind it?
No? We do know the play has started once more. 30-second clock is ticking.
Pruitt, Clayton to the left. Duper with Moore in the backfield, and he'll probably go right. Moore's lined up at the right halfback position. They've got Marino at the 9-yard line. Gastineau, Lyons, and Klecko with Crable. The second sack for the Jets. The other came when Marino tripped going back to pass, so this is the first sack resulting from a legitimate rush.
The Jets only had 3 sacks coming into this game. That's 5 on the season. You see the speed on the outside, and it's Bob Crable, number 50, coming in on Marino, and then some powerful play inside by Klecko. The combination is good. And look at Lyons. He's celebrating in there with a couple of whacks to Klecko's helmet.
Third and a bunch. 29. Oh, my. It's Duper again. Oh, Clayton at the 48-yard line. Third and 29, and Marino uncorks a beautiful rainbow to Clayton.
Let's just watch Clayton right here. Just a little fade and up the field, and it's a timing pattern. It's a one-on-one coverage. But watch him as he bursts out of that backfield. Johnny Lynn trying to cover him. That ball's already in the air, and it's just a one-on-one battle. Clayton wins it. Perfect over-the-shoulder pass by Dan Marino.
First down at the 49 of the Jets. Mark Clayton and Mark Duper chewing up that injury-riddled deep defense of the Jets. 171 yards now for Clayton on 7 catches. On the ground, and that's something they've not been able to do. Hampton wrestled back by Marty Lyons.
You might ask, why does Marino and why do the Dolphins throw so many more times than they run in this game? And there are 2 reasons. Their strength is in the passing game to begin with. But also the Jets continue to stack a lot of people, often 8 men, sometimes even more up tight to that line. And the Dolphins feel that they've got to challenge that kind of defense. There's Carson, whose philosophy is to play pressure defense. It's pretty tough when you're as wounded in the secondary as he is, but still look at them. They've got 8 people up tight and 2 more that are right up next to the line of scrimmage.
Marino fires to Johnson. Incomplete. Almost deflected back to Carl Howard of the Jets. Marino was a fine baseball player in high school. In fact, was drafted as a third baseman. Oh, he just looked like a third baseman going deep behind the bag and bracing to make the long throw to first. 400 yards passing. Fouts with 6. Marino with 5. The Hall of Famer Sonny Jurgensen with 5. But Marino has his 5 in 3 years.
Just a matter of time, isn't it, Rick?
Closing in on his 6th today. Well, he's got it. That's right. He's got it.
That's right. He was 4. He had 4 coming into today.
4 minutes, 28 seconds left. 38-38 tie. 3rd and 10. Clayton unable to come down with the ball as he was hit just as it arrived. Humphrey, Howard, both were there.
Very smart play by Humphrey as that ball was bounced into the air. He reached up and took Clayton's arms right out of the air. You've got to try and strip that ball away, especially from receivers who will take it in traffic. You see him there. You see Humphrey go up and just jerk those arms down. The receiver himself, he knows that's one way to keep the man from catching it.
Reggie Roby to punt. Kurt Sohn back at the 10. On 4th and 10. What a game. 7-3. They were the Dolphins into the first period. At the half, 31-21 Jets. Almost blocked. Fair catch for Sohn, and a tough fair catch at the 17-yard line. At the end of 3, 38-31 Miami, and it's currently tied at 38 with 4:17 left. And as we were leaving, I thought I detected a chortle, a little laugh out of your presence. Now, what was that all about? 38, just because of all the scoring?
I got to tell you, as a defensive player, I know how painful it's going to be. A fumble.
Is it called a completed pass? That's the key here. It is Miami's ball. Now the question, did Walker have possession? And this will probably send that vibrating message to the umpire that says, wait, let's look at the replay.
What replay? We'll have one here momentarily for you. The officials have indeed signaled completion and fumble.
Now here, coaches have become alert enough that Joe Walton is going to certainly wait for this to happen. Here's the replay. Walker 1 foot. Now he came down with both feet. Yep, that's a legal catch.
Awfully close, though, Dick. The officials are asking for that one to be
That's a tough ball. He didn't have it
very
long.
quick. Well, if the play is run, it stands.
Look at Julie. He says, get up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
And here they are. In field goal range already at the 27. Marino looking for more underneath to Hardy. And the tight end is close to the 17, and down goes the flag.
Kyle Clifton, number 59, going to be ticketed for a late hit out of bounds on Bruce Hardy.
And Klecko is injured. Joe Klecko.
As quick as you see those people out there, Klecko's knee is up in the air as you see Dr. Nichols out there, and oh boy.
Kyle Clifton ticketed for unnecessary roughness. It'll take the ball down inside the 10-yard line. And there's Joe Klecko, the all-pro nose tackle.
Klecko, the heart of that Jets defense.
Well, it's coming in today. Buffalo, a final, has defeated St. Louis 17-10. 35-34 Dallas in the fourth. Finals, Denver wins. They're 3-0. Seattle with a great come from behind at Foxborough. They're unbeaten, and New England goes to 2-1. That's good news for both Miami and the Jets. Rams win again. They're 3-0. Minnesota with an impressive win over Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay with its first win of the year. They just announced the Seattle victory at New England. That brought a cheer.
Left knee for Joe Klecko, and maybe we can go back and see what happened on that last play. All we have is Klecko responding after the play, but you see him grabbing that left knee, and Klecko has had several serious knee injuries over the years.
And isn't it ironic that Hugh Green, the great linebacker of the Dolphins, now on the sidelines has knee heavily taped, apparently a serious bruise or dislocated knee, and now it's Klecko holding the knee.
Klecko moving pretty well. Well, you never know. I think he's tough. He might walk off of there with a knee that's in a shambles. We'll have to wait for a report.
You know, Merlin, having played on the artificial surface, that there just isn't much pad underneath, and when all that weight are jammed into the ground, there's Hugh Green. He can certainly empathize.
There's no question in my mind that the turf shortens the life of the player. It simply does not give those injured knees and those parts of the body that take such a beating a chance to recover. And it used to take our players, and particularly those with knee problems, at least 2 or 3 extra days to recover from playing on artificial turf.
Right back to the action. With 3:45 left, Marino has a first and goal at the 8 after the penalty. Woody Bennett with a good hole is to the 4. Tom Baldwin, Kyle Clifton, and others.
You see them going right up the middle, knowing that Tom Baldwin is in to replace Klecko. They go right up the gut.
They're already well into the first period of some of the later games. The Raiders early lead against the Giants, and San Diego leading Washington in the first. Kansas City over Houston by a field goal, and the 49ers lead New Orleans by 3. Here it's 38 all. 3:07, 3:06 left. Second and goal. Marino has thrown for 2 one-yard touchdowns in this game, and he's got another score. That is the 6th touchdown pass of the game. Mark Clayton finally gets his.
Marino into the end zone to high-five with Clayton. The Jets fumbling the ball away. Miami right back in a short burst to put it in the end zone.
Well, that's been the story of the second half for Miami. They've recovered 3 Jet fumbles, and those 3 fumbles have led to 17 points. Rod Reveiz has the extra point. Now it will be up to the Jets offense. They have plenty of time. All 3 of their timeouts remain, and 2 minutes 56 seconds left. With Miami in front, 45-38. Mark Clayton's 8th catch of the game, 174 yards.
Quick slant inside, and Marino falling away. Threads that ball between Jet defenders. Puts it out in front of Clayton. Oh, I tell you, it's hard to look at that. Just a slant inside.
Pretty well covered, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Carl Howard all over Clayton. One more time. You look at it here. Howard is as close as he can be, but that ball is perfectly thrown. Clayton's body is between Howard and the ball. All he can do is try and strip it away.
Clayton has set an NFL record with 18 touchdown catches in '84. Has his third of this season. Boy, the combination of Duper and Clayton. 6 touchdown passes from Marino to tie Bob Greasy's Miami club record. Duper has 7 catches, 2 touchdowns, 154 yards. Clayton 8 catches, 1 touchdown, 174 yards. Total them up, 15 catches, 328 yards, 3 touchdowns from Duper and Clayton. Gervais hits this one well. Boy, he's kicked well all day. 5 yards into the end zone. JoJo Townsell will take the touchback at the 20. And the Jets have 2:50 to try to force an overtime.
And it wouldn't surprise me. It's been that kind of day, hasn't it? It has been that kind of day. Reminiscent in a way of the game down in Miami when Ken O'Brien took his team 80 yards in the final minutes of the game for a touchdown, only to watch Marino come back to hit the play with Duper, a long bomb to win it for Miami in the final seconds of the game.
That's right. He hit Cleveland. There was a minute, 7 seconds left. It appeared the Jets had a big upset win. 17-14. It's not to be. O'Brien! That'll be an incomplete pass.
Now, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to call it an incomplete pass. Slipped out of O'Brien's hand. A strange play. As O'Brien's hand started forward, the ball slipped out of his hand.
He had L. Toon going deep, and maybe at the last moment he felt he was risking an interception if he tried to go long and try to stop it. Well, he's lucky.
I don't think he tried to stop it, Dick. I think he tried to put a little bit extra on it. I think he's going to get it out there as far as he can. Watch him. Tries to whip that ball, and it just came right away from him. Now, I don't know. That might have been a fumble. It looked like it was out early.
Looked like Garo Yepremian on that pass. Over the middle to Toon. And a first down at the 37. Offerdahl made the tackle. 17 yards for the Jets. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. No huddle. No need to really hurry here. They have all their timeouts, plus the 2-minute timeout.
Well, they may want to keep the substitutes off the field for Miami.
O'Brien throws that one where no one can catch it. He was being pressured hard by T.J. Turner, rookie from Houston, number 75.
There's several reasons, Dick, to go without a huddle, one of which, with so much substitution taking place on defenses now, occasionally going without a huddle will force them to deal with or play with what they've got on the field.
That's a good point. You see that it's been Miami outscoring the Jets 24-7 in the second half. And the fumbles that have really hurt the Jets, and Miami's great passing game led by Marino. 2nd and 10. Almost intercepted by Bud Brown, intended for Al Toon, and Mark Brown, no relation to Bud, was the man hammering O'Brien as he threw the football.
Quarterback vulnerable as he throws that football, and O'Brien, I think, either had his bell rung or got the wind knocked out of him. Was very slow getting up on that play. He's still acting rather shaky. We haven't seen O'Brien from the sideline.
There's Pat Ryan. So in a 45-38 game, it appears O'Brien's going to try to stay in.
They call the timeout to give him a breather finally.
This will count against the Jets 3, however. At least that's how Pat Haggerty signaled the timeout.
He doesn't look like he's breathing well yet as he heads to the sideline. And you see Ryan in the back now. I think it's appropriate to be wearing green if you have 2 quarterbacks named Ryan and O'Brien.
We're going to need a little luck of the Irish here. Meanwhile, we're waiting word on Joe Klecko as to the seriousness of that injury. We've received no official report yet.
We also noticed that Lance Mel has been on the sideline with that ankle of his heavily taped. This has been a tough day on an already beleaguered Jet defense. And we mentioned the injury to Hugh Green, equally difficult.
The Falcons, someone said, well, they're 2-0, but they haven't beaten anyone. They're trying to upset Dallas. The Cowboys at home, 2-point lead for the Falcons. Chris Farr has kicked another field goal for the Raiders, and San Diego leading Washington 7-3. McLaury, a field goal for Kansas City, and Wilson for San Francisco.
You're going to be on at the end of some of those games. There's Klecko, and that's good news. He's up on his feet, moving around. I think if he were severely injured, you'd see several doctors and trainers crowded around. That's good news.
And we talked about the tandem. Clayton and Duper. Soon has 4 catches and Walker 3. 7 for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. Klecko, taped knee, will be back. 3rd and 10. O'Brien, incomplete. Hector, no flag.
Kozlowski there, Bud Brown there. Like Kozlowski at the last second reaching in, timing his hit, arriving with the ball. 4th and 10, and it looks like the Jets are going to go for it with 2:06.
Well, the scoreboard shows 3 timeouts left, so apparently they did not charge the Jets with that injury timeout to O'Brien. In the last 10 minutes they would have. And there's a lot of time, even if they don't make it on 4th and 10. Big play, under pressure. O'Brien to Toon. He didn't make it. Even with a second effort, he's out of bounds at the 45-yard line, short of the first down. So Miami, with 1:57 left, takes over at the Jets' 45-yard line. Now Miami and the Jets will try to use those 3 timeouts and stop the Dolphins. 1:57 left. We have had it confirmed that there are 3 timeouts left, which is unusual because O'Brien, with timeout left the field, was allowed to continue to play the next play. Normally you have to at least exchange a player for 1 play if that's the case, but apparently Walton has 3 timeouts left. Now the Jets line will try to stop the Dolphins, hope that they can give O'Brien a desperation chance. Marino, meanwhile, sitting on a 6-touchdown game, and if they key too much on the run, he might pick them for a 7th.
They certainly have not done much with the run during this day, but with Marino in there, you've got to respect the pass, and he's not afraid to throw it in any situation. And with Shula calling the plays, you never know what's going to be called.
Joe Klecko is not in the game. Tom Baldwin is on nose tackle. Now
there's the
2 timeouts. 2 timeouts. They had to charge him on the O'Brien play. First down would all but do it for Miami. They have Matt Moore, wide right. Double tight end, Hardy on this side, Johnson to the right. For Woody Bennett. Fumbles! And it goes right back to Miami. Unbelievable. Oh. Ben Rudolph had it fumbled right into his hands. In surprise, he could not bring it in, and it went to a Miami player down on the ground.
The one thing you look for in this situation, to get your hands back on that football, to give your offense a chance at it. The ball, watch it. Woody Bennett, Woody goes right into the line here. The ball is hit right there. 54 is Troy Benson, and there's the ball right in the hands of Ben Rudolph and drops it back inside.
Roy Foster on the ground just saw the ball fall right in his lap.
Boy, talk about a turnaround.
Jets aren't calling time here, surprisingly. Clock is running.
1:43. Maybe after this play, they're going to call it. They've only got 2 left, Dick. Klecko, I guess they're not going to take a chance with that injury, but the fact that they considered him putting him back in the game would indicate that that is not a very serious injury.
Hampton stopped after 6
Now,
yards.
quick timeout. There it is.
1:18 left. 1 timeout remaining. It'll be 3rd and about 8 when we return to Giant Stadium. Veteran Ben Rudolph.
He's still still thinking about that, having that ball in his hands and seeing it bounce back into the arms of one of the linemen, Roy Foster, on the ground.
Who says luck isn't involved in this game? Third down 9 from the 44. One timeout left for the Jets.
Pass.
Marino looking for that one more. Finds Hardy on the sidelines. And out of bounds he goes. That's a break for the Jets. He's short of the first down. And they stop the clock by knocking Hardy out of bounds after a 6-yard gain. So fourth down and about 3. And Roby comes in to punt. And the Jets were able to save a timeout.
Plenty of time left in this ball game with a minute 11.
That unofficially was the 50th pass by Marino. No one back for the Jets. They have 11 men on the line of scrimmage. A huge unattended green. Put some pressure on Roby, but a two-step kicker, he's tough to get to, and they don't. No flag. Goes in the end zone. 1:04 left. One timeout remaining for the Jets. Well, they did that fairly well, did they not? With only 2 timeouts, they actually used only 53 seconds, did Miami.
Not what you want to do and try to eat that clock up. Ball down on the 20-yard line. Almost the same situation that Kenny O'Brien faced last year. We mentioned it just a few minutes ago. And in that particular situation, he rallied the Jets, drove it all the way into the end zone, and completed it with a pass to Cleaver.
Jets really playing deep, and they'll go underneath to Schuler. But they need more than 5-yard gains.
We have seen very little of Schuler today, and I think one of the reasons he has had a slight groin pull, and I think it's bothered him. And the other thing is that the Miami Dolphins know how much O'Brien likes to go to Schuler, and he's been one of their priority targets defensively today. They've done a pretty good job of taking him away.
3 catches, only 18 yards. It's 45-38. Miami leading, less than a minute left. One timeout left for O'Brien. Yeah. He gets to the sidelines, and a first down at the 32. 7 yards on the scramble. 49 seconds left.
Using about 10 seconds off the clock, but did pick up yardage, did pick up the first down. And again, his training not to make the mistake. They don't want him to throw the bad pass. Zone coming in with the play from the sideline.
One timeout left, so O'Brien can afford once if he sees the opening to go down the center of the field. First down.
It certainly changes the way you can play defense, too, Dick.
There he goes down the center. And then they pitch play to Hector. He's all the way to the 39, but can't get out of bounds.
He's not out of bounds. He got an injured player down, and I don't think, yes, they are going to stop it, but I think O'Brien called a timeout.
Pitch and trailer. Schuler catches the pass and pitches back to Hector, one of the oldest plays in the book.
I think Shula is the guy who usually runs that play. In fact, they run it quite often. And here's the toss. They fool a couple of the Dolphins here. Offerdahl is up. Kozlowski is up. But Lyle Blackwood was not fooled. And Kozlowski able to get him down inbounds. There's Schuler. Schuler took quite a shot right there. He was slow getting up. And there's Hector.
Remember in the San Diego-Miami playoff game a few years ago, that dramatic game that went overtime, it was Don Strock to Duriel Harris, who pitched to Tony Nathan for a touchdown.
A little bit of Don Schuler's own medicine being handed back by Joe Walton. Puts them in on the 39-yard line, looking in at that goal line.
There's the situation. They need 7 to tie. They have only 35 seconds to get there, and it's a 39-yard trip. And our coordinating producer, Ted Nathanson, our director today, Andy Rosenberg, producer Larry Cirillo. Who was the scriptwriter today?
He came straight out from Hollywood.
And O'Brien trying to make it even more dramatic. Schuler Whoops. Oh, he fakes it, trying to get outside, and he does. He stops the clock. What an effort by Schuler. They were looking for the pitch back to Hector, and they left Schuler, and that allowed him to get out of bounds. 40 yards.
Play. Right back to the other side, but Schuler could see there was nothing to be gained from flipping it, kept it in his hands, and had to fight through a couple of tacklers to get out of bounds. Watch him at the end of this play. He can see there's no gain here. They got a piece of him too early. Kozlowski, no way he was going to take the bite a second time. But there's Schuler. One man, two men on him. Bud Brown, the last guy to get a piece of him. Don McNeil, the second man on him.
2nd and 5. O'Brien to the sidelines. Schuler, but he doesn't get out of bounds. And now they'll have to hurry. The ball is at the 20-yard line.
16, 15, 14. It's counting down. They're lined up. They'll get it out of bounds. Good, smart, quick play, but we're down to the last few heartbeats of this game, Dick.
Well, they have one chance. Very difficult to get a play in less than 5 seconds. You don't want to risk that, so it's going to be one play at a time. It's been busy. Joe Costanza, our statistician. We want to thank our help in the booth, Mike Elver, Dan Regan, Jim McLaughlin, Ron Zitkowski. Ball sits on the 20-yard line, and this is the play. Set in by the man who calls it, Joe Walton. Tony Page, the messenger, gives it to O'Brien. And 5 seconds to tie it up. Walker, touchdown! Oh, my! Wesley Walker's third touchdown catch of the game comes with time expired. Now Pat Leahy to kick the extra point necessary for overtime. Unbelievable. 45-45. Overtime.
Here's a chance to watch that play develop. O'Brien has to step up into the pocket to get that little bit of extra protection. Zipped it into a slot. There are 2, 4, 5 Dolphins around Wesley Walker, but Wesley Walker has the ball, and he's in the end zone.
And we'll return for the overtime after these words. Oh, my, from your local station.
A day for defenses. You see it here again. A real strike pitched in there, and Walker handling that very hard throw in traffic. That's got to be one of the biggest catches of his career.
And how many times have you seen in one game 3 receivers with over 150 yards? Walker has 151 yards and 3 touchdowns, both Cooper and Clayton with over 150 yards. Well, here's what that winning the toss means in overtime. Nothing.
Well, it does mean in this case that the Jets, who have suddenly gotten hot on offense, get the first chance against a defense that has not been very spectacular today. I think there is an advantage here for the Jets. But they've got to take advantage of their opportunity.
I would say some 20,000 of this sellout crowd trying to beat the traffic left early, and oh, how they might be regretting that.
They're trying to drive back into the stadium now.
Roves to kick it off. 15-minute sudden death. Safety, field goal, touchdown. It's over. 15 minutes. It comes to Michael Harper. Ooh, and he's cracked hard. Fumbles, and who's got it? Miami, if they rule out a fumble. Was he down?
We haven't seen a signal from the officials.
If it's a fumble, it'll be the fourth. No, they're motioning Jets ball. Marino thought it was his, and very nearly was.
Go back and take a quick peek at it. Traffic right there. The shot to the ball. Woody Bennett.
Oh, that was a fumble. It was a fumble, and unless the Jets get it off, they're going to vibrate.
Let's see what we can see with this one. Legs going down.
Matter now. They get a play off. Toon out of bounds, but clearly that is one they should have buzzed because that was a fumble. And herein is that whole dragnet. The instant replay, while it's a good idea, frankly isn't working.
Here's a better angle of it, and you can see the ball broken loose before the runner is down.
No question that's a fumble.
The Jets, with a quick huddle and a quick play, beat the system on that one.
O'Brien to Toon, 2 for 2. He's at the 46-yard line. Another first down. Well, rulings have been made when the evidence didn't seem to be conclusive, and here it would appear there's quite obvious evidence that he is not down. The ball is clearly out of his grasp before he hits the ground, and Miami recovers the football.
I think the Jets would say they lost one early. They picked one up here. Maybe it's even down on the day. I don't know. Miami's not going to be happy, Dick.
First down, Jets. 1 minute into overtime. Tied at 45. Woody Page. He has good yardage, too, except that Tony Page, we want to call him Woody. That's Tony Page to the 47.
Got the legs that look like tree trunks. Did I tell you?
Thanks for trying to cover it, but Pat Leahy, who has not missed for quite some time, 15 straight for Leahy, anticipated. Second down, 4. Most of the crowd standing. Hector.
Whoa.
Boy, he has quick feet, doesn't he? First down at the Miami 43. And the Jets driving closer and closer to field goal range.
Marino wants his shot on the sideline. He knows that all it takes is a field goal or a touchdown. Any points on the board, and he's not going to have a shot at it. I tell you, Dick, you've got to pass some bouquets out to the offensive line of the Jets. Dan Alexander has been in there all day with a bad back. And those guys have been down in the trenches knocking it out, doing a fine job in there.
Take to Hector. O'Brien going for it all. To Walker. Touchdown. Oh, my. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen one of the greatest games in NFL history. In overtime, 51-45, the Jets have beaten Miami when the Jets scored on a 20-yard pass to tie the game in the final seconds of the game. And O'Brien then hit the star of the game, Wesley Walker, 4th touchdown catch. As Walker, a field day, 4 touchdowns, and some 200 yards in reception. Wesley Walker, who made the brilliant catch in traffic, stabbing the touchdown reception that tied the game, floating, and Ken O'Brien laying it in there for a dramatic 51-45 win. Officially, Walker, 6 catches, 194 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And in overtime, 51-45. A touchdown that perhaps the Jets should not have had the opportunity to score. For on the kickoff return to start overtime, it appeared very clearly that the Jets had fumbled it. Michael Harper, number 84. Watch him closely.
Harper up inside. The ball is loose right there. Harper still up. His knees not yet on the ground. The Dolphins came up with the football. You see them pointing. Crash Jensen, and they're saying our ball. The Jets quickly huddled up. Maybe the smartest play of the day. Got a play off before anybody could buzz down from the replay booth, and then went right down the field. 2 quick strikes to Al Toon. They moved it on down with a running play. They set up the long bomb, and then it was just a streaking Wesley Walker beating Don McNeil down the sideline, and as he has done so often against the Dolphins, it was again Walker who was the nemesis.
Wesley Walker, the 31-year-old veteran from California. He can only see out of one eye. He's legally blind in the other. He caught passes for touchdowns of 20, 43, 50, and 65 yards today, and the New York Jets win 51-45. Stay tuned for the Budweiser NFL report coming up after these messages from your local station.
Everyone knew what to expect. A brand of aggressive, intimidating football that was in absolute keeping with the character of head coach Mike Ditka. His players had to do it his way, and Ditka's way was to play it hard, aggressive, and tough on every play. They were more than tough last year. The Bears roared through the regular season and playoffs into Super Bowl 20, and they dismantled the New England Patriots in a record-shattering show of defense and offense. One team that did play the Bears tough last year is their opponent tonight, Green Bay. The last time they met, the Bears won a narrow 16-10 decision that featured plays like this. Ditka says his team is more than ready for a repeat of that kind of game tonight.
We'll be very physical. We'll meet force with force. We'll play whatever way they want to play.
You can bet they'll be tough as tonight the Bears play the Packers.
Away from one block, though, and look out. This is the 19. Good the one he's been waiting for. Good by no, look at that guy. Lewis Wright cuts him off.
It'll be reversed to Lofton. Watch out.
Good move.
He will not catch Lofton, I promise you.
Goodbye.
Forget it. Pretty. 31 yards, and Terry is in the offensive backfield for the Bears. He'll be the lead blocker. They give him the football, and Terry. Touchdown. William Terry fights the football. We are watching a folk hero being made. We are live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, it's the NFL champion Chicago Bears against their longtime rival, the Green Bay Packers. Our ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by New York Light, to help you get the most out of life. By Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Nissan. Test drive the new Nissan hard body trucks at your Nissan dealer now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Frank Gifford, and welcome to Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, located on Lombardi Avenue. You get the idea? Tonight, we're going to watch the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears play for the 131st time. They've been going at it for a long time, and they have been hard-fought games. The Bears come in, they're 2-0 in the young season. The Packers are 0-2, but I don't think it's too cliche to say you can throw it all out whenever these two teams meet. They really don't like each other, and that's developed over a lot of decades of playing football. Last year, the Bears only lost one game. They lost that game to Miami, and the toughest game they had outside of that game was right here at Lambeau Field, where they came in and just squeaked out a 16-10 victory over the Green Bay Packers, and there was all kinds of bitterness that came out of that game. Hard hitting, there was late hitting, there was rough play, and that could have some ramifications that will carry over into tonight. The Bears' offense could be hurt somewhat by the fact that their quarterback, Jim McMahon, is probably not going to play tonight. We say probably because we never know. We thought that in Minnesota a year ago, and he came in and won that game almost single-handedly. So there's with young Mike Tomczak, the second-year man out of Ohio State. And there's a look at Jim McMahon. But their offense really is Walter Payton, the legendary one, a legend really in his own time, now in his 12th year. And there is Walter, over 15,000 yards, 177 yards a week ago against Philadelphia, maybe better than ever. But the Bears really thrive on defense. We all know that. We have household names that came out of their Super Bowl efforts of a year ago. We have names like Dan Hampton that everyone knows. We have Steve McMichael. We have Richard Dent, Mike Singletary, and it goes on and on. And, of course, they have the most legendary of all appliances in all the white goods department, the refrigerator, William Perry. They are coming in here tonight against a young Green Bay Packer team just kind of licking their chops, I think. They really want to dominate this young Green Bay Packer team, and maybe they will. I don't know whether they have intimidated this young team or not, but I think there are a lot of young Packers out there, quite frankly, would like to be not only playing against them, but also getting a few autographs from these Chicago Bears. My colleague Al Michaels has a full line on this young Green Bay Packer team, and a lot of them that are not going to be household names. I can tell you that as you call them tonight.
Well, Forrest Gregg has changed the cast of characters here, Frank. In fact, they have 14 new players. 14 of the 45 were not here at the end of last season. The Packers have been 8-8 in each of the last 3 seasons, and they have begun this season on a note on which they have lost by 31-3 to Houston and 24-10 to New Orleans, 2 so-so teams. So the Packers could very well be a team in a lot of trouble. It is a team basically bereft of superstars. In fact, only one will be a household name. That's the wide receiver, James Lofton. And Forrest Gregg, in his 3rd season as the coach up here, has decided to go with the relatively untested but what he calls promising quarterback, Randy Wright, the 3rd-year man out of the University of Wisconsin. So it is sink or swim with him. But as far as the Packers are concerned in tonight's game, it's really back to the basics in terms of how do you win it. You win it 2 ways. Number one, you have to control the ball against the Chicago defense. Good luck. And secondly, especially in the absence of Jim McMahon tonight, you have to try to contain Walter Payton. Good luck again. Much easier said than done, obviously, and the Packers, as you know, are big favorites, or the Bears are big favorites coming into tonight's game, and a Packer victory would be the biggest upset of this young NFL season as we conclude week number 3. So the Packers to kick off, Al Del Greco, who booted a 50-yard field goal last week, the longest of his career against New Orleans. And back deep, Dennis Gentry and Thomas Sanders. Gentry has already run a kickback for a touchdown this season. He did that against Cleveland in the opener. The 50-year man, the versatile one out of Baylor. Full house at Lambeau Field, and they are raucous as we get underway from Green Bay. And Del Greco's kick is a short one, fielded at the 13-yard line by Gentry, up past the 20 to the 30, and tackled at the 32-yard line. Dropped there by Mossy Cade. And so Mike Ditka with some last-moment instructions for Mike Tomczak. Tomczak wasn't drafted out of Ohio State, picked up as a free agent, and he started the season number 3 on the depth chart behind McMahon and Steve Fuller. But he's in there tonight with the big men, Payton and Suey, and then Galt on the outside. And the great offensive line, the All-Pro Jim Colbert, the left tackle. 1st and 10 Chicago from the 33-yard line. Suey and Payton behind Tomczak, and they give it to Suey, and Suey breaks the tackle.